Yes,
Looks like you meant to do what happened.
No, sir. I'm not.
Then you need to be honest.
So we're
with
going
me.
to take that story you said before, wipe it clean, forget you told us anything, start over.
I'm not a cold-blooded person. I did.
No, take a second to take in what I just said. I don't think you understood what I just said. That story you told us earlier doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. The story you told me earlier, gone. Doesn't exist anymore. Tell us what really happened.
Were you trying to kill her?
I never hit her.
I deal with people killing people. There ain't nothing worse than that. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So don't play games.
I'm not playing games.
Okay, well, I don't believe that you don't hit her. Did you lose control?
I didn't lose control. When I spanked her, I spanked her, like I told you before, I hit on her back. I never hit her.
Okay.
I never hit her up here.
Stop there. This isn't a spank. This is hitting somebody in the face.
No.
Hitting a 5-year-old little girl in the face. What do you think's going to happen when I go to a judge with the evidence that I've compiled? Listen to me. When I've gone to the evidence that I've compiled, and I've got all that, and I take it before a judge and jury. Judge and jury, this is what I got. Oh, what did he say? He said he don't know nothing about it. How does that look, man?
It looks like I'm a liar. It looks like I'm
Cold-blooded.
The 5-year-old mentioned in the footage is Zykerria Robinson. She is the second child of 26-year-old Michelle Canamore. On October 18, 2018, Zykerria was rushed to the hospital in Jacksonville, Florida for being unresponsive. What could have gone wrong with this little child? Who was responsible for this? This is 26-year-old John T. Harris, a resident in Jacksonville, Florida, one of the primary caregivers of Zykerria Robinson after her mother. The couple started dating in January 2018, and John T. moved in with Michelle in July. He would often look after Michelle's 2 daughters when Michelle was away at work. Based on the incident that took place on October 18, 2018, the doctor who checked Zykerria in the hospital called the authorities as there was physical evidence that suggested long-term abuse. John T. and Michelle were interviewed by the police on October 18, 2018. This video analyzes the interrogation of John T. Harris and his potential involvement in Zykerria's severe condition.
I want to come in and talk to you.
Yes, sir.
Get some information from you.
I'm going to grab some of this basic stuff real quick before we start talking. Just like your name and all that. What's your first name?
Jonte.
Jonte?
Yes, sir.
What's your middle name?
Dominique Harris.
Dominique, D-O-M.
I-N-I-Q-U-E.
You said Harris?
His last name.
All right. And what's your date of birth?
05/19/1992.
5/19/92. What's a good phone number for you?
You'll have to ask my girlfriend. I just had got phone.
She's got a new number? I got it. Is it the same number? Do y'all share a phone?
No.
This is y'all got separate lines? Where you live?
Uh,
All right. And just real quick, who all lives in the house?
How long have you lived there?
I just moved in the summertime.
Summertime? Was it early summer, like July or
Early
August?
summer.
Okay. All right. Anytime we speak to anybody downtown, we've got to complete these constitutional rights, okay? It's just part of our policy. It's just an important part of the process. Place, I'm going to put PMB. That's just the Police Memorial Building. It's just the abbreviation. Today is 10/18 of 2018, and the time is 11:34. a.m. Okay. Have you had any drugs or alcohol today?
No.
Do you have any type of mental condition that would keep you from understanding what we're talking about?
No.
Okay. Can you read?
Yes.
And can you write as well?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I know some of those questions are weird. Can you read that first line for me?
You have the following rights under the United States Constitution.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and read the rest. You do not have to make a statement or say anything. Do you understand that? Anything you say can be used against you in court. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before you make a statement or before any questions are asked of you. And you have the right to have an attorney with you during any questioning. Do you understand that? Okay. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to you before any questioning begins if you wish. If you do answer questions, you have the right to stop answering questions at any time and consult a lawyer. Do you understand that? Okay. All right. What I need you to do is just you can read over those and examine if you want, and then just sign at the bottom for me. Perfect. Okay, so we're basically, we brought y'all here because we're trying to get a better understanding of what happened at the house.
As the interrogation begins, the detectives establish a strong power dynamic. Jaunty, even though he has not been charged for his actions at this point, is very much aware that he is a prime suspect in Zykerria's condition. His calm demeanor and soft-spoken nature in this tense situation speaks volumes. People who are involved in potentially harmful actions, such as violence against children, often try to project a facade of innocence and softness. In fact, by staying composed, there is a chance that he can better manage the interrogation and potentially manipulate the detectives or the outcome.
And then Michelle got home. Then what happened?
Michelle got home. Everything was still normal. We was chilling, you know. I was already still in the living room. Michelle went and told her, that's when she got the medicine and all that, and Michelle told her to go to the bathroom.
What medicine are you talking about?
I don't know the name of it.
Okay.
But one of the officers went to the house and it's in an orange bottle. One of the bottles, her bottle's gone, but not the same exact bottle.
Okay.
They both got prescribed the same thing.
Okay.
After that, after she gave her the medicine, she took her to the bathroom.
On the couch.
She peed on the couch.
Okay.
And she took her to the bathroom. Once all that was done, she was taking a bath. They normally do that. I don't.
So every time after she pees herself or pees the bed or the couch.
Yeah,
and they go take a.
That avoids from us whooping them. So they know, like, don't do it. But you also need to be clean because like they piss to be strong.
Right.
So
okay. So they're in the bathroom. Both of them are in the bathroom.
No, just her. This was around the same time Michelle got off of work.
Okay, so Michelle comes home, finds out that she had peed
On
the couch,
Mm-hmm.
gets her up, takes her into the bathroom. Then what happened? That's where I got lost. I'm sorry.
Okay. When she took her in the bathroom, she was already in the tub. She ran. The water was running in there. She was washing.
Okay.
Now, when we was in the living room, she came back. Michelle didn't eat dinner. When we came back, she said she heard. I didn't know what the hell she was talking about. Me, I wasn't. It's not like I wasn't paying attention. It was like I'm paying attention, but who would, you know what I'm saying?
But
something
not,
that's normal.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when she heard that, we both rushed there and we seen her. The way she fell up. She must be fell up under the water because her whole face was like this. So when we grabbed her, I seen suds come out of her mouth. I already know how things are, so I told Shell, call the ambulance. So when we both got on the phone, they showed us how to do the CPR thing.
Okay.
It is important to note that the two detectives already have information related to the bruises and marks found on different parts of Zykerria's body and her condition. The story that Jaunty is narrating doesn't match with the physical evidence found by the doctors. This is where it gets interesting. There was no trace of water found in Zykerria's system like there should have been if she fell in the tub, as Jaunty explains. This makes the detectives more certain that Jaunty's account of the incident is not entirely true. Thus, their strategies of interrogation are going to evolve as they detect the deceit in Jaunty's story.
So when y'all pulled her out of the bathtub, she didn't have any clothes on or anything like that because she was in there showering and all that. And was she standing up? Was she taking a shower or was she taking a bath?
A bath.
Okay. Do you know how much water was in the bath there? Okay. So she would.
It shouldn't have been a lot, but the tubs usually stop up, so
Okay.
I can't really call because
Okay.
not realistically, I didn't see it.
You didn't see it. You weren't paying attention to that part. Okay. So just so I understand, again, I want to make sure I understand it really well. Michelle came home from work about 3 o'clock. She comes in, realizes that she peed the couch there. Tells her, get on up, go in there, we're gonna clean up. So they both go into the bathroom together, get her in the bathtub, and then Michelle comes back out to get dinner or what have you. And then here's a thud or a boom, and y'all go immediately running back in there and see that she is face down, kind of up against the wall of the bathtub, and the water's coming down and hitting her face, nose, mouth, all that area.
Yes, sir.
Y'all reach, grab her out, pull her out, and she's not responsive, right? Is she responding at that time? Is she breathing?
It was like a slow breath, because I had put my ear to her mouth, and then I had put my ear to her heart. And I thought I was hearing a heartbeat.
Okay.
So then I heard, you know what I'm saying, I'm seeing but when I started seeing the suds come out her nose, I was thinking like logically like, oh, that's probably like the same thing as blood, so call the ambulance. I don't know what to do.
Okay. So y'all try CPR, then the EMTs get there and they scoop her up and take her away.
Yeah, they grab her quick.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any questions about the initial?
No, I was gonna ask a couple of follow-up questions. Would the kids go to school?
Down the street from the house, but then she stopped going there.
So she stopped going there.
Well, her mom told me she had the social problem because, like, if we say school, she's not talking.
Mm-hmm.
She never was social. When I first started dating Michelle, she never was social.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time, it never was like throughout the day. I say rarely she'll say on her own about 15 words, but if we talking to her, she'll say whatever we say when we repeat it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So she didn't. Do you think she understood what you were saying?
I don't know. Her father, her biological father, from what I hear from all their family, he has a condition. So I don't know if that affects him. I mean her. But
what's his condition? What
you would have to ask Michelle or her
Okay.
family members. They something happened where either he had got shot in the face, but it's something wrong with his brain. I guess.
Okay.
That's one thing I can assume.
Okay.
Okay. Did So I didn't. I don't think I missed the answer. Maybe we got off topic real quick. She stopped going there when?
Around August or September.
So she started going 1 or 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know why she stopped going?
For the social.
Because she wasn't.
Her mom took her out because of the social thing. She didn't want to. It was just daycare anyways. It wasn't like she was kindergarten or something doing like some grades that can surpass her. It was more of we're gonna put her in school so we can have something during the day. I go to school in the mornings, so by me going to school in the mornings, her being home and she works nights. Okay.
So she's instead of spending the money, you decided to keep her in the house?
Mornings.
All right.
Mornings. Like if she works at night, I go to school in the morning. She wants to be home, sleep, get her rest, and she wants to take her daughter, go to daycare. You know, then she took her out and just had her with her.
So she just watched her herself instead of taking her to daycare.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happened at the daycare that made her mad at them or unhappy with them. It's just
No.
she just decided to keep her home for just
Nothing.
family
They
reasons.
always speaking. They always happy. They always joyful. There's nothing going on.
In this segment, Jonty unknowingly gives away a piece of information to the detectives. He mentions that Zykerria was taken out from her daycare. Additionally, he said that Zykerria displayed some social awkwardness, a common occurrence as many children need time to adapt to new environments. This information, while not inherently alarming, causes a heightened level of suspicion among the detectives regarding the parents and their parenting approach. Indirectly, this revelation hints at the potential motivation for Michelle and Jonty to conceal the bruise marks and the ongoing abuse inflicted upon Zykerria.
Okay. What with the kids themselves, the two girls, do they get along pretty well?
Yes.
Okay. Are they? I mean, I know siblings argue and fight and all that. Do they fight a lot? They don't fight much at all.
They don't fight at all.
Okay. So they're not tussling or wrestling or. You have siblings?
Yeah.
You have a brother, sister? You have a brother?
Yeah.
You guys fight?
Yeah.
I did too. So that's why I asked that, because even me and my sister, we wouldn't tussle as much, but we'd fight a lot.
Her girls, I can honestly say, they never.
They don't fight at all.
They never fought. It's not like even when I first came around, I'd be joking like, "Oh yeah, come on y'all, let's go play fight." No.
Not a bit, huh? Okay.
No, there's not. There's not on that.
Okay.
Instead of throwing evidence in the suspect's face and pointing out how it doesn't match his story, they ask if Zykerria ever fought with her sibling or was mishandled by any one of them. This strategy gives an opportunity for the suspects to come clean. However, if suspects don't, then the culpability of the individual becomes more apparent for the detectives to assess. Although Jonty gives an honest response to this question by mentioning the two kids never fight, he is actually narrowing the doubts of the detectives more than he realizes.
And you said that she's a little bit socially awkward. Does she go outside and play with her kids in the neighborhood, in the apartment complex? Or?
No, Michelle's not really trustworthy of the neighborhood.
Okay.
I have kids. When they come over, then they socialize together.
Okay. Is she pretty social with your kids?
Yes.
Okay. So she'll play with them.
She'll play with kids. It's like it's she picks and chooses who she wants to talk to.
Okay.
When she's around kids, you have to warm her up into it. The last time I seen her actually active was at my mom's house, and they was all playing kickball.
Okay.
So she was very active. I was looking at her. I was like, look at this. I never heard her count. And then she just started counting out of nowhere. And I was like, whoa, because she's not crazy.
Yeah.
I figured that.
Yeah.
It was just she had a social problem. I thought I was like, okay, since she's not talking, maybe she's just gonna grow out of it. I thought she was just shy.
Right. So, but she plays with her. Does she play with her sister and talk to her sister and
Yeah.
all that, and they get along well?
Yes.
Okay. So, have you ever seen the two fight?
No.
Never physically seen them fight. Okay.
Never.
And then do y'all go outside as a little family group? Go
Yes.
outside, and Michelle said something about that y'all run, that y'all
we
exercise
exercise.
and what have you. Does she take part in the exercise? Does she
Yes,
enjoy the running and stuff?
No, she
She
doesn't
doesn't
enjoy.
I don't enjoy running either.
She does. Some days she enjoy it when, like I said, when we playing. Like, oh, come on, Chaser. Whoever beat me to the house, he'll give you some chips, and then she'll do that. But if we just on some exercising, if it was just me and Michelle, then Michelle be like, oh no, get the girls because they can't stay in the house. And when we were running, the last time she ran, it was like the worst.
Okay. She just didn't want to run?
No.
What did she do? How did she react to that?
She was running. First, usually she runs fast like this, but I figured something was going on because she was, and I was like, come on. And then all of a sudden she pick her up. She started running again. Then she slid.
Right.
That's how she got her bruises. And
Great.
then
Okay.
the last run, that same day we was coming from the store, going around the block, there's I forgot how the doctor said it, but it's something in the road on Lake Shore. The sidewalk goes like this, and then it goes in, and then it comes back up, and they have like a cone right here.
Okay.
And the parts of it that come out, when she was running, she must be tripped, because I didn't trip, but we all tripped her, Michelle, and they fell. And we picked her up. Then I seen bruises like this on her arms. So I was like, come on. This was, I want to say last week, I want to say Friday or Thursday.
Okay, Thursday or Friday last week.
And we were more on some, I was scared. Shell was scared, of course. And I was like, well, maybe we should call the doctor. She was like, she seems fine. It's just bruises. So she went to go to 7-Eleven and just buy the little creams and stuff to put on her to calm the bruises. Yeah.
According to Jaunty, Michelle didn't allow her kids to play outside as she didn't trust the neighborhood. It's ironic how she trusts a man she met a few months ago to take care of her daughters on his own. In this section, Jaunty also adds that Zykerria chose people who she wanted to socialize with. This doesn't sound like a kid with any mental health concerns. Zykerria was probably just shy and took her own time to be comfortable with her environment. However, Jaunty places a lot of emphasis on the fact that the girl was not normal. This can potentially be a reason for him to justify his actions.
To your knowledge, has she hurt herself any other times? I mean, broken any bones, twisted
I don't
any
know if
ankle?
she broken any bones, but she usually, she'll do little stuff to hurt herself, like biting her tongue. I used to hear her do the, I'd be like, yeah, that's what it sounds like.
You said she would bite her tongue?
Yeah.
Okay, like to make her tongue bleed or just bite it?
Not to make it bleed. I never
Bite
seen
it.
just like this.
Okay. Like just
you
the
know,
tip
like-
of it in her teeth.
Like how girls like they stick the tongue out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she doesn't do it all the way.
Okay.
It's like a little bit, and then she like this, and then she goes.
Okay.
It was a habit.
Okay. Does she at daycare ever bite other kids or anything like that? Or she just like biting her tongue?
I never
You'll
knew.
never know? Okay.
Never.
But she doesn't bite her sister or
No.
try to bite y'all or anything like that? Okay.
Mm-mm.
She ever bite herself?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Usually they share rooms or own rooms. They have 2 separate rooms, but then lately keep around each other in the same room or a couch or they'll switch.
Okay. Back to when she's running, you said she was falling. Was she falling like a fake fall? I mean, kind of like diving, like, I don't want to run no more. And she would fall down, or was she like
I wanna say
exhausted
that.
to a point?
Yeah, I mean she was exhausted, of course, for we would run distance. It wasn't like around. We were going straight shots, like
Yeah.
going straight, and it's like in between. It looked it fake, but it also looked it real in a sense, because it's like you, and you're crying, you're whining is real,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you're exhausted, and how you falling, you may be falling fake, but by the time you get down, it's real.
Okay. Okay. Was she hitting her head or was she hitting her arms or?
like I said, when she fell on that little thing that's like that, that's what I saw. I saw
Okay.
her hit all this.
When she tripped and fell.
Yes.
Okay.
Before, no, other than tonight. I mean, well, last night, from the heads and all that, because the doctor had just put us up on information about her having damage in her brain. We never knew that.
Okay.
Like, I didn't know that. Shell didn't know that. But I used to ask Shell the same questions that the doctor used to ask when we first got together. Like, does she have problems just because her dad has a situation? Like, what's wrong with her? I used to think, I said, is she like epileptic, or is she...
Well, the problem that her dad has, because I know the situation with him,
Okay.
is he got shot.
Okay.
And that messed with some of his brain. And it wasn't something that was hereditary or anything like that. So I don't think it has any relation to the dad. But obviously, the way you're explaining it, there's something,
It has to be.
that goes on. But she's never been diagnosed or taken to the doctor or
I've
anything
only
like
been
that?
with Michelle for a year.
Okay. When you've been with Michelle, have you seen Michelle take her to the doctor for anything? No injuries, no broken bones, twisted ankles, nothing. Okay.
Nothing.
Okay.
We I dated Michelle February. Between that and July, before I moved in with her, I never seen that. We wasn't really like seeing each other like that. It was just like occasionally. But when I moved with her, she didn't have her kids for the summer. They were with her dad.
Okay.
And then they came back around August, to a little daycare from August to either September, or she got out in August. One of those. It wasn't long. I knew it wasn't long, and she got out.
Okay.
Here, Jonty again gives away a hint unknowingly. He talks about a long-term head injury that Zykerria endured, which was confirmed by the doctor when she was taken to the hospital on October 18th. His attempt to seem innocent and pretend not to know about this proves that he and Michelle are careless when it comes to childcare. Although he tries his level best to justify this carelessness and not take any responsibility, detectives are now more certain about his involvement.
So with her, you said that she goes in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
What about past that? What if she's in the corner and she won't stay there? She keeps talking back or whatever.
No, she doesn't talk back. When she's in the corner, she usually, if she's zoned out, or she goes from being like this, and then she goes to being like this, and then she starts swinging around, doing this, and then she starts doing this, and I'll be like,
So she'll respond back when you holler at her.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do you ever have to discipline her, spank her, anything like that?
I spanked her a few times, like once or twice, but her mom spanks her.
Okay, her mom's the one that disciplines.
The discipline.
And why is that? You just
because of the fact of peeing. Last time I spanked her was when she used the bat. She bowel moved on the floor.
okay.
That was it. But my mom, her, and her dad was like, no, this and that. And I said, I understand because I have a son. And
Right.
he's been in a situation with my baby mother and her boyfriend whooping him with a belt. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? Don't be a contradictor because...
Right. I'm with you. Yeah, I completely understand. I just want to get your opinion on it.
Okay.
So it's Michelle that usually does the discipline or spanking. Tell me about that. How does she do that? What does she use? Hand? What does she use?
Hand on the butt.
Okay, hand on the butt. Does she
Yeah.
ever use a belt or?
She uses a belt. She doesn't use it like full out or from the buckle to the long. She doesn't whoop like that or nothing.
Okay.
Like she folds it about twice. Same thing like she does with her hand, not
On
too
the butt.
just
Okay. When's the last time you saw?
a spanking.
Yeah.
This weekend.
This weekend. Okay, she was acting up to where she had to be spanked.
No, that was just a bowel movement. It
Oh,
was-
that was the bowel movement where you had to spank her.
Mhm.
Okay. When was the last time that you saw
yeah,
mom
Michelle.
spank her? Yeah.
Last week. Last week or probably the week before.
Okay. And was that with the belt or with just the hand?
The hand.
Okay.
The belt stopped based off of she just didn't like it because I don't know why reason. She just said she just doesn't feel right whooping her child with a belt.
Okay.
But she just used her hand because she can handle talking to her because she cooperates more with a belt. When she gets the belt, she just
Yeah.
looking, and then when she uses her hand, Oh, okay, mommy, I'm sorry.
Right. Okay. How many times does she usually have to spank her before she'll?
Like I said, twice.
Twice usually.
Three or four at the most.
Okay.
Nothing more. I never see nothing.
Is it the
more.
bear behind, or is it through the clothes? What she usually spank her?
Panties. Like
Okay.
shorts down, spank on the panties, or they might not all the way be down, like in between.
And is she squirming, or is she fighting, or is she basically
Is the
Take
baby
her-
fighting
yeah.
away from it?
Yeah.
Yes.
okay?
She'll be trying to
Trying to get away,
run
and
away
move.
from it.
Yeah. Okay.
Zykerria is just a 5-year-old, and all her behaviors are entirely typical, despite Jonty's attempts to portray them differently. Resorting to extreme measures to discipline a child of her age is highly unnecessary. In this part, Jonty admits that both he and Michelle use spanking and whipping as ways to discipline Zykerria. This is the first time Jonty acknowledges engaging in physical abuse. However, even though he tries to downplay it as mild and harmless spankings, the physical evidence on Zykerria's body tells a different story.
No, I'm not. The reason we're here, I'm gonna cut through the chase. The reason we're here is basically there's injuries to the child that aren't consistent with falling in the shower. Okay, there's a lot more that's happened, a lot more that's going on.
Yeah, that's what the doctor said.
There's a lot more bruising that's there that is not consistent with anybody's story. We're trying to figure that out. We're trying to determine what happened, and we're trying to get to the bottom of it, to figure out who's causing these injuries. Now, with her, let me ask you this: if somebody is physically causing harm to this child, what do you think should be done to that person?
The person needs to be figured out.
Needs to be figured out. Okay.
Why?
Why you're doing it? Okay. Punishment wise, how do you think they should be punished?
I would leave that up to the lawmakers. I wouldn't want to be a judgment. I wouldn't know
What if it was your child?
If it was my child,
You have a son or daughter?
I have a son.
Okay. What if it was your son?
I want to be honest. I would
Yeah,
want to
be
get
honest.
revenge for my child.
Okay.
That's just being honest. I
Okay.
wouldn't use law enforcement. I know that sounds crazy. I'll probably be either dead or in jail somewhere thinking like that. But I've been in a situation like that before where my son got whooped. So if it was my child, yes.
What about those little girls that live in your house?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you care for them.
Yes,
I can
I-
tell by looking at you. So if somebody's intentionally hurting those children,
I would want to find out.
you'd want to find out. Is it a revenge situation, or is it something you think law enforcement should put them in jail? I mean, what are you thinking? I need you to be honest with me, okay? Something's going on in that house, okay? And you and Michelle and the two girls were there last night,
Yes, sir.
okay? It was just
Just
you guys.
us.
Nobody else there, and something happened in that house last night, and it's been happening in that house. That the medical evidence is going to be very clear. There's going to be no doubt of what happened and what occurred. Not only with the injury to the head, not consistent with falling in the shower and getting an injury there. There's other injuries that are on her that don't make sense. They don't make sense at all, and we will get to the bottom of it. But it depends where you want to be in this whole thing.
Well, like I said, me and Michelle, we don't do no crazy stuff like that. Like, that's what I know for sure. Now, as far as her falling and her injuries that we seen, that's what we saw. I didn't even know that the baby had other injuries around her, the little bite marks. I don't want to blame nobody, but I'm ashamed of what the hell is going on.
In this section in the interrogation room, a notable transition occurs in the power dynamic. The detectives shift from an indirect approach to a more confrontational one. Jonty's reactions to that are noteworthy. Jonty's confirmation that he would seek revenge if someone harmed his children indicates deep-seated emotions and potential violent tendencies. This response is contrary to the downplaying of violence that he has maintained throughout the interrogation, and it raises concerns about his true emotional state. In fact, Jonty's admission of a willingness to take revenge is inconsistent with his earlier attempts to portray himself as nonviolent and harmless.
Have you ever seen Michelle lose control?
No.
Have you ever lost control with her?
I have lost control yelling
With-
loud.
Okay.
I never, ever. I don't have no history of violence. I don't have no history of hurting kids. I don't believe in that. I want to understand that, and I have a great sense of mind.
I mean, obviously, you know that when you come in here, we run your background and all that.
Yes.
I don't see anything that jumps off at me with you. Nothing at all. And that's what concerns me. Because right now, we're trying to figure out who the suspect is and who the witnesses are. And if we can't figure that out, then everybody's a suspect.
Yeah.
And we've got to figure that out. And what I'm trying to caution you with is, which one do you want to be, and where do you want to be in this process? Because I know by talking to you that this is concerning you, this bothers you.
Yes, it does.
And you're trying to decide the right thing to do of how to work this out. And,
as a family man, I don't want to see myself in jail or prison. I don't want to see Michelle in jail or prison. I didn't even want in the situations that she's in. I don't want to see mom or losing her stepdad because their dad's not shit. I don't want to see her sister. And then I have my own family. I'm in school. I'm finna get ready to graduate in a month. You know what I mean? So it's like,
and you're gonna make good money doing welding and all that stuff. There's good money in that. So you need to think about yourself, think about your son.
Yes, sir.
And think about what the right thing to do is, okay? And make the right decision. That if you know something, you need to share it with me. Because when the investigation's done, it's going to be very clear of what happened, when it happened, and where it happened. That's the good thing about these medical things.
Yes, sir.
There's no question. You know, we've got doctors upon doctors upon doctors over there doing examination, x-rays, and figuring stuff out.
Yes, sir.
Okay? We work directly with the state attorney. She comes in and she talks to us in these cases to figure out which way am I going to go and what's going to happen.
Yes, sir.
That way she can get a clear understanding of what happened and what went on. And I can guarantee you that people that cooperate and tell us the truth, she can look at that and understand it better.
Yes, sir.
Than people that don't
Yes, sir.
tell us the truth. They look at it, well, the medical evidence shows this. This is exactly what happened. How the hell did he not know that?
Yes, sir.
And she's going to think that you're lying and you're a bad guy. You're not a bad guy, are you?
No, sir.
No, and I don't think you are either.
Sir.
By talking to you, I don't think you are. But if you know something, you need to think about yourself. Okay?
I'm thinking about myself. I'm thinking about everything that's going on. I don't know nothing. I have lost control. I have screamed. She has lost control. She has screamed. But we never, ever took it to the point where we will want to like harm them or kill them. Or
neither one of you have
no,
been excessive with discipline with either one of those kids.
No, because my kids be around, her kids be around, and then it wouldn't make sense for me, because like I got a question like that before, and I'm like, same level, they both around us. Have a problem. We whoop them the same way. So I don't.
It sounds like one complies when you threaten with, hey, I'm gonna take TV away, or this, that, and the other one sounds like you have to go a little bit further. It's a little bit more stubborn. She's a bit hard-headed.
I wouldn't necessarily say hard-headed. It's just she told her mom that she wanted to be with her dad. That's the only reason. Maybe that is stubborn, because she was rebelling, but she never got punished. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So
she was just really about to go to her dad. That's what was even crazier. That's why
When's the last time she's seen her dad?
June or July, summertime, because that's when her and her nana had him.
Okay, so it was what, 3 or 4 months since she spent time with her dad,
October.
I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
June or July. The nana had him over the whole summer. I just had moved in with her. So it wasn't, like I said, I don't know if the bite mark came from over there. I know from the doctor saying that the bruising that you're saying about like the ribs and things like that, we don't know where that come from.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I know. I'm sorry.
No, I interrupted you. I apologize. Keep going.
These I seen for sure. You know what I mean? Hit the concrete. For sure. I seen that. These right here, no, because that would sound like I never seen that. I don't know if that came from hitting the concrete or not. I don't know. I never seen it from her like sleeping and stuff. She sleeps, so I can't imagine bags or anything like that or something strong. And then the doctor said she had like blood behind her eyes or something like that. So I don't know if it's from that.
When you wake her up and you may not, but when somebody wakes her up in the middle of the night, because y'all wake her up to go to the bathroom so she doesn't. When you wake her up, is she groggy? I mean, does she fall down or does she walk fine? Does she sleepwalk or anything?
No, she doesn't sleepwalk. She walks fine. She sways. She does this with her shoulders.
Okay. But she's not falling down in the ground or hitting the walls or tripping or any of that.
Temper tantrums, like nothing more. Like that's why I'm saying, like I don't know. I seen her do things like this before. You know what I'm saying? Like her arms go back. These was way before all this happened. I have seen all like these little effects, and then I be like, I yell at her. She, yes sir, but she's talking. And when her mom does it, but her mom says she been doing that for like her whole.
She gets real rigid almost.
Yes sir.
Okay.
In this part of the interrogation, the detective strategically places Jaunty in a dilemma, offering him the roles of a witness or a suspect. This technique aims to force the fear of being labeled a suspect and facing legal consequences, motivating him to tell the truth. Despite this pressure, Jaunty attempts to shift blame onto Zykerria's biological father, Zafir Robinson. However, the detective quickly points out that the bruises and marks are relatively recent, and Zykerria and her sister have spent nearly the last 2 months with Michelle and Jaunty. This constant pressure is causing Jaunty's defense to weaken.
Because here's what we're running into.
Okay.
I'm going to try to kind of show you what we're looking at from our perspective so you can understand why we're asking what we're asking. We've got 2 children, 2 adults, taking care of those 2 children.
Yes sir.
One kid responds normally to discipline. Doesn't sound like much of a problem at all. I saw her today. She seemed like a happy-go-lucky little kid. The other kid, for whatever reason, we don't know why, has some problems responding to discipline or responding to what she's supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because parents are there to tell them what to do. She has a problem
Socializing.
doing
Yes.
what she's supposed to do. Part of it's probably problem socializing. But either way, she's not an easy kid to discipline. It doesn't sound like. So a lot of times what happens is if a little bit of discipline is not working, you do more discipline. Just like some people think, if you're giving somebody a little bit of medicine, well, I'll give them more medicine to make them better. It doesn't always work that way. More discipline is not always the answer. But parents don't know that always. She's a young mom. She's an inexperienced mom, and she's dealing with an unusually difficult child. What we need to understand is what happened, because there's only 4 people in there that we know of, and we're going to talk to everybody that we can. What happened normal, and it's not right.
Yeah.
She has enough injuries where she may not make it, is what she just told me. Right? That's why we're sitting here. This isn't the time to worry about anybody else. This isn't the time to worry about you and Michelle, what's going to happen to her, what's going to happen to you. We just need to know the truth.
Yeah.
Because right now, I don't know. What you and Michelle are telling me so far is not adding up to what I've seen preliminarily. Like, what I've already seen, injuries-wise, just a few minutes I spent at the hospital, doesn't make sense. So usually when things don't make sense in my world, somebody's not telling me the truth. Now, do I think you're lying to protect yourself? I don't think so. I don't think you did anything. Do I think you may not be disclosing something that Michelle's doing that's not a good thing? Maybe. And if you are doing something like that,
I'm not.
I didn't ask you.
Oh, sorry.
If you are doing something like that, now's the time to just come off of whatever it is, because something's happened in the house. And as soon as I get these reports back from the doctors, I'm gonna know. There's only 2 people I have to talk to because both you and Michelle said you're the only 2 there.
Yes sir.
Now, did you do anything to cause these injuries?
No sir.
Very serious injuries.
I know they're
That could be
serious.
life or death.
Yes, I know that. That's what I'm.
You understand there's only 2 people in that apartment that could have caused these injuries?
Well, from tonight, that's what you're saying. Yes sir.
What
Yes,
happened
sir.
tonight
Yes sir.
potentially caused her death. Now, if you're looking at it from my perspective, something happened in that apartment. The evidence is going to show us something happened there that caused her to be injured enough where she may pass. Only 2 people were there. What do you think happened? And I don't know is not a real great answer right now from where you're sitting.
I haven't, like I said to you and him, I never did anything. I never seen her do anything. We only spanked, and even when these things come back, I have no room to lie. It really hurt. It's really hurting.
I can see it.
You feel me? And I have never ever seen like anything in this situation. Never been in this situation before in my life. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you said some real like the discipline things. I don't know. Like I've yelled, I have spanked. I never hit. We never hit. We never hit. We never it's only yelling, spanking with a belt, spanking with the hands. That's it.
What do you think happened?
I'm thinking that her injuries came from when she was running and we delayed on coming to you guys earlier before. I'm thinking from her probably exercising at an accelerated race and she's falling is probably causing all that. That's the only way my mind is pitching to that.
Jonty exhibits a strong reluctance to be forthcoming and continues to maintain a facade. The detectives respond by systematically deconstructing Jonty's narrative, highlighting key points in his story and pointing out where it lacks credibility. This tactic is meant to pressure him to recognize the gaps in his account and potentially prompt him to confess. They do so by emphasizing the severe nature of Zykerria's injuries, which strongly indicate physical abuse as the cause. Jonty maintains steady eye contact when directly questioned about his involvement in the violence inflicted on Zykerria. This eye contact may be an attempt to appear trustworthy and confident, and to present a false bravado. Jonty's attempts to deflect responsibility and offer a questionable explanation may indicate a deeper motive to conceal the truth, raising further suspicion about his role in Zykerria's condition.
Well, there's a way I phrased it the way I did, because I just asked you if you suspected that she did.
No, no. I don't want to even second guess myself. No, I never suspected.
You never were sitting there thinking, man, she might went overboard whatever she did to her this time. Because this isn't something.
We've been doing this a long time. I've dealt with a lot of child abuse cases. Tons.
Yes, sir.
This isn't something that happened last night. The worst thing happened last night because it got her in the condition she's in now. But there's a pattern that happens before it gets to this point. Just like with a domestic abuse between a husband and wife,
yes, sir,
or boyfriend and girlfriend. He doesn't all of a sudden just one day stab her. It leads up there. There's a long history of one a little bit worse than the last time, a little bit worse than the last time. And it doesn't seem bad until you're sitting here in this chair and it all of a sudden got to this point,
yes, sir,
to where it's the worst it could be. So what we're asking about are the little things that might have led up to this. We need to get a good picture of that before those reports come in from you, so that we can show that you're cooperative and you're giving us everything that you have.
Yes, I am.
So tell me about what led up to today.
In the last couple of weeks, very defiant. She hasn't been listening to me or her mom. She told her mom she didn't love her. She told me she didn't love me when she did socialize. She said she wanted to go back to her dad. She missed her dad. She wanted to go to her nana. I put her in the corner. I told her, you can't be like that. Your mom loves you. Your mom's not doing anything to you. Michelle, she works at night. I'm the only one that's at the house. And when he said, think about me, that's the only thing I'm thinking about, because that shit's scaring the shit out of me. I don't want to be in a situation where, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Where I'm more, it's not that I'm protecting her, it's really on me, because if you working at night and then I'm the only one left with the baby, then the thing's going to point at me. I don't want that on me. It makes my conscience bad.
So tell me what you know.
I'm telling you what I know. That's what I know. And like,
okay.
I didn't suspect no injuries because she was fine. She was swaying. That's all I ever seen her do. And before any of this stuff happened, she already was doing, I don't know what you would call this in a child. I don't know the actual doctor term. But for you to be like this and all this, and you shake, that's what you've been doing. You know what I mean? And this was with both of us. I don't know if it's from the yelling. It wasn't from me hitting her. It wasn't from her hitting her. I never seen her do like this, like that, and she was always like this, but she was responding. She was responding.
It's highly unusual for a 5-year-old child to exhibit rebellious behavior and explicitly express not loving her mother. Zykerria's persistent complaints about missing her father and her desire to return to him strongly suggest that there were significant issues in Michelle and Jonty's parenting. Furthermore, Jonty's response to Zykerria, such as placing her in a corner for expressing her discomfort, raises concerns about his parenting skills. Unfortunately, Jonty imitates Zykerria's stiff posture without recognizing that her discomfort stems from her injuries, not a rebellious attitude. This failure to understand her pain suggests typical signs of child neglect.
Just one thing I'm going to flip back on. That stood out to me. She went to the bathroom on the floor, defecated on the floor. It sounded like what you said when she pooped on the floor.
Yes, sir.
So, how did that happen? Was that an accident? Did she intentionally take her pants down and go to the bathroom floor because she's mad? Tell me a little bit about that.
No, I put her in a corner, and when I usually put her in a corner, this is how she shows her disobedience and rebellion. She pissed before on the floor. Like I said, go to your room. She'd go to her room. She'd be in the corner. Then she'd get out the corner. I was like, okay, sit down. She's sitting down. She knows how to get up and use the bathroom. So I get in there, piss on the floor. Go to the bathroom. She get up. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. That's what her words were. When she used to say no, that's when I knew it was a problem. Okay, now you're not listening. Then the bowel movement thing was when she was she had her panties on. When she doodled all the way down. I say it was on the floor because it was coming down her. But she had a whole, you know what I'm saying, whole drawers full.
Mm-hmm. When was that?
That was this weekend.
And how did you discipline her for that?
I spanked her and put her in the corner.
And, okay, so I misunderstood. Why did she just walking around when that happened, or was she sitting on the couch?
No, she was standing. She was already standing.
She was already in the corner.
She was already in the corner.
So she was already in trouble for something.
Yes.
What was she in trouble for?
Disobeying, just not rebelling. Rebelling, not listening, being stubborn. Her mom asking her to do things like little things like, come on, let's eat. And I'm like, come on, eat. She's not listening, neither one of us. It goes back to that.
Okay. I think I had a couple of the brain. You said something about brain damage. Did you say that she had brain damage, or you thought she did, or what was that?
The doctor said that the baby had a lot of brain injuries, and I just said damage to replace injury, but it's just the same thing. He said
What
that she had
doctor? What was that doctor's name, or where were you at?
Wilson's Hospital.
That was just now.
That's
That was
just
today.
That was today.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. I think that was the clarifications I had. I mean, like I said, we're here. We're giving you opportunities to kind of come forward with stuff. We're going to be here for a little bit longer. If you think of something you need to tell us, you got to let us know. If there's anything you're holding back that's going to come out later, it's going to bite you. Don't think it's not.
Trust me, I've never been in a situation like this. Never been incarcerated. Never been down the line. So it's more.
I know.
Making
that's
me
a pretty good accomplishment, don't you think?
Yes.
Staying out of
yes,
trouble.
Yes.
So you probably given up a lot in order to keep yourself out of trouble throughout the years. You probably given up friends. You probably given up relationships just to keep yourself out of jail and not live that life.
Like,
You're not about that.
I'm not trying to be about that. Like all I do is do my music and I do school.
So we want to keep you out of that too. We don't want you to get caught up in something to where you're going to get in trouble, because when it comes to kids,
it's serious.
And everybody takes it serious. We take it serious. The state takes it serious. The judges take it serious. And guess what? The juries take it serious. Think about you were sitting on a jury.
I am.
And you were looking at what we're looking at.
I am.
Okay.
I am looking at all the situations. I don't even know what to say, man.
A shift in the detective's approach is noted, transitioning emotional manipulation to employing fear as a tool to extract a confession from Jonty. This shift is significant from a psychological standpoint. The detectives emphasize on the inconsistencies between the physical evidence and Jonty's account to psychologically pressurize him. The fear of facing potential legal consequences, such as incarceration, is a powerful motivator that can influence Jonty's decision-making. Fear-based tactics aim to make the suspect feel vulnerable and to increase the perceived risks of maintaining their story. In response to this pressure, some individuals may be more inclined to confess to minimize their exposure to negative outcomes. Here, Jonty appears to be slowly giving off signs that he is affected by this fear-based approach.
And to be honest with you, the story that y'all were giving us, it stood for a little while, but just based on investigation and talking to people, it doesn't make sense. Okay, and so we're trying to get to the bottom of it. We're trying to get to the truth. Because when we go, I mean, we've been at 7 o'clock at night now.
That's right.
And you guys got here at what, like
4:30.
That's when it first started. Everything started. You got in here with me probably about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, somewhere around there is when we started. It's almost 12 hours that we've been going and investigating. And like I told you, with the team we have, we got a team of people. You know, that 2 sergeants, state attorney. I went and saw a judge today. When our partners went and saw a judge today. So it's not just me and Detective Devereaux. It's a whole team of us doing stuff. We've had people interviewing kids that specialize. That's their job responsibility. That's all they do is interview kids to get a better understanding and to work with them. So we've done a lot. Is she a pretty good kid? You said that she pretty. You threatened her with, "Hey, I'm gonna take your TV away," and she did whatever you say.
Just stuff like that.
So what about in school? Is she a good student?
Yeah, usually she's just been getting A's recently.
Okay. So that's good. Are the teachers pretty responsive? I mean, does she listen to what they say and does what she's supposed to do? And with y'all, she does what she's supposed to do for the most part. You only have to tell her once and she gets it done, right? Now, what about does she ever tell stories? You know, little kids tend to tell stories or what have you. Is she usually a pretty truthful kid, you know, comparatively to others?
Usually. She doesn't be around a lot. Usually she does the same thing as zoning out. As far as like when watching TV and what you doing? She was like, nothing, stuff like that. Nothing more than
But
like.
she's not telling big lies or saying that she's getting, you know, in trouble at school, getting F's, beating up other kids.
No,
whatever.
she doesn't get into fights. She doesn't.
But she's not saying any of that. She's not telling any stories.
If she tells you something, you believe her?
Most of the time, she doesn't really too much talk about much, but when she does, yeah.
Okay. So when she does tell you something, you have no reason not to believe her.
No, I do my investigation as well.
Okay. So that being said, we talked to her, and she gave us a totally different story than what you and Michelle were giving us. Okay. And that's what we want to figure out. Basically, our investigation's done. We've done everything that we need to do. Well, there's still steps we need to do, but to a certain extent, we know what happened. We know where it happened. We know when it happened, which is different from the time that you're telling us that everything happened. To a certain extent, know how it happened. We just don't know the why, and we haven't put it together to why these things all came together.
When the detective comes back into the room, there is a major shift in the atmosphere. Jonty's discomfort is visible. By this point, the detectives are very sure that Michelle and Jonty have been lying all along, but things take a turn after they talk to the only witness, Zykerria's 6-year-old sister, whose identity was not to be revealed for her safety. She tells them the truth about how the 2 adults treated Zykerria, and what really happened that night which led Zykerria to be in such a critical situation. Jonty's demeanor changes, and he is certain now that there is no way to avoid the inevitable confession.
Were you trying to kill her?
I never hit her.
Okay, hold on. One, you need to stop lying, because you ain't going to get many chances. This ain't baseball,
you say,
all right?
Yeah.
There ain't 3 strikes, all right? Because what I've seen today, what I've dealt with today,
Yes, sir.
I don't ever want to deal with,
Yes, sir.
okay? They don't call in random Joe Smo to work these cases.
Yes, sir.
You don't see a guy in a patrol uniform that just got on the street working these cases. They call in a homicide team.
Yes, sir.
Do you think there's a higher detective division within the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office besides homicide?
No,
There's not.
I never.
You got dudes that chase dope. You got people that deal with people robbing people. You got burglaries. I deal with people killing people. There ain't nothing worse than that. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So don't play games.
I'm not playing games.
Okay, well, I don't believe that you don't hit her. For example, I know that you hit her.
Okay.
All right? I know there's no chance. What I need to know is why you hit her. Did you lose control?
I didn't lose control. When I spanked her, I spanked her, like I told you before, I hit on her back. I never hit her.
Okay.
I never hit
Okay.
up here.
Stop there.
And-
This isn't a spank. This is hitting somebody in the face.
No.
Hitting a 5-year-old little girl in the face. Don't lie to me.
I'm not, sir.
If you lost control, if you fell apart, we can work with that. We can work on that. But if you sit here and lie to me, what do you think is going to happen when I go to a judge with the evidence that I've compiled? Listen to me. When I've gone to the evidence that I've compiled from doctors that say what happened,
Yes, sir.
from interviews that I've done not only with Michelle, with her daughter,
Yes, sir.
who you just said wasn't a liar,
Yes, sir.
who other people that are involved in your life,
Yes, sir.
other baby mamas, all that, putting that together to find out what type of person that I'm talking to.
Yes, sir.
And I've got all that, and I take it before a judge and jury. Judge and jury, this is what I got. Oh, what did he say? He said he don't know nothing about it. How does that look, man?
It looks like I'm a liar. It looks like I'm a...
Looks like you're cold-blooded.
Looks like
The
you're cold-blooded.
cold-blooded, yeah,
Looks like you meant to do what happened.
No, sir. I'm not. I'm not.
Then you need to be
So
honest
we're
with
going
me.
to take that story you said before, wipe it clean, forget you told us anything, start over.
I'm not a cold-blooded person. I did.
No, take a second to take in what I just said. 'Cause I don't think you understood what I just said. That story you told us earlier
About
doesn't
her-
exist.
About...
Doesn't exist. The story you told me earlier, gone. Doesn't exist anymore. Tell us what really happened.
The detective takes a firm approach, directly challenging Jonty and giving him a final chance to be honest. Despite Jonty's repeated claims that he only spanked Zykerria, he attempts to shift the blame for the severe injuries onto Michelle. However, based on the information he's provided so far, it initially seems like on October 18, 2018, he lost control with Zykerria, and a terrible mistake occurred where the punishment became excessively harsh for a 5-year-old. Considering the overwhelming physical evidence and the accounts of witnesses, Jonty appears nothing short of a cold-hearted person who sought to assert dominance over a vulnerable 5-year-old girl.
You have a Facebook page or anything like that?
No, sir. Deleted Facebook.
Instagram?
Yes, sir.
You do have Instagram? What's your Instagram name?
One way, I think.
One way.
One only way.
One what?
One only way or one way. It's on my phone.
Okay.
What's up with that empty room in the house?
I was gonna end up turning it into a studio.
Music?
Yes, sir. Her sister used to stay in there, but not Michelle rooms, and me. I was like, okay, well, sleep like alone. She's a baby, and then she wants to be around her sister. That's her saying that. So I was just going off with that, and I was gonna use my idea of making a studio.
Okay. Why would Michelle tell us it was because you didn't think anything?
Yeah, that too, because
That's
of her
it?
attitude.
So it was to punish her for her attitude.
Just taking things away from
Well, that's
her.
how you punish kids. That's a normal way to punish kids. You take away things they have so they'll behave.
So they can
you-
behave for it to earn it instead of just feeling like it's given to you because of you being bad.
Okay. So that's what she told us. But you also were going to make it a studio at some point if she never...
I was really going to make it a studio around this week.
Okay.
It recently just happened.
Okay. So those 50 injuries he mentioned, could anyone else have done that? Because you told us about who takes care of the child. It's just you and
Yeah.
Michelle. So could anyone else besides you have done those injuries?
Just me and her.
Right, but I'm asking about you. You think Michelle caused any of those injuries?
Probably from some of the whoopings, but I know once.
So like I said, we've only talked about probably 6 or 7 specifically that you've said, yeah, I did that. And it may be because you just don't remember. But like I said, there's a bunch of those bunch that are there. They exist. Are they from you?
They're not from. Like I said, I didn't. I remember the doctor saying, "Did somebody punch her or kick her?" That's why I was like, "No punching, no kicking."
All right, so
the injuries from this.
Okay. She's in your care. She's not in daycare. She's not in school.
No one else watches her.
And it's during the
She
day.
has these injuries. Tell me how they get there. Any of them?
I mean, she did whoop, and
How did she whoop them?
she whoops with a belt as well.
Where did she hit them?
She turns them on their stomach and she whoops them with a belt.
On their buttocks, their back, their legs.
Buttocks and back. I remember one time we had to hold them together because
So other than the belt marks that are on her butt, back, and legs, could any of those injuries been from Michelle?
other than those,
Other than those we just said, the belt marks.
no.
So everything else. I want to move on to another topic we've discussed. We've seen some other injuries we saved for last. She got injuries on other parts of her body. Okay. Specifically on her vagina.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Okay, tell me about that.
Not on that.
Okay.
Not on that. Never touched a child. Not on that. If that's where you guys.
Well, I'm asking you. She's got an injury down there. How would she have gotten that?
Maybe Michelle done whoop her with a belt naked.
Is there any chance that your DNA is going to come back inside her?
No. There's no chance of my DNA gonna come back inside her. No, 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 no. No, you can use that. No, you can swab that. No, sir. No, sir. No, no, this, no, this, none of that. No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Well, that's easy enough. We'll see.
Zykerria endured more than 50 injuries to her little body, which included head injuries, broken ribs, 4 bite marks, bruises from a belt, and also an injury sustained to her private parts. She was just 5 years old. In this final segment, Jonty in a way accepts his responsibility. However, he actively denies his involvement with the injury that was apparent in her private parts. Although there are hints of regret and shame, he still tries to downplay his involvement in the violence inflicted on that little girl. On October 19, 2018, Michelle Canamore and Jonty Harris, both 26 years old, were arrested and charged with aggravated child abuse and first-degree murder following the tragic passing of Zykerria, who had been removed from life support. Michelle also faced child neglect charges. According to the arrest report, Zykerria's mother admitted that Jonty had been subjecting the girl to abuse since August. On October 17, 2018, he repeatedly struck her in the face and head until she lost consciousness. When questioned by the police, Jonty confessed that his anger had been provoked because Zykerria was showing disrespect. The victim's 6-year-old sister confirmed that both adults had been subjecting Zykerria to violence throughout the 2 months they stayed with their mother. Michelle claimed that Zykerria was unconscious on the couch when she left for work around 10 p.m. on October 17th. However, when she returned home at 3 a.m. on October 18th, she discovered that her daughter was not breathing, leading her to call 911. Zykerria was rushed to the hospital, but it was too late for her to respond to any treatment.
If one person could have stepped up and went in that apartment and checked on our grandkids, she'd probably still be alive today. We tried to get help. We tried to get people to come over and check on the grandkids. We wasn't getting anywhere.
The tragic case of Zykerria prompts us to reflect on the responsibility we bear to protect the vulnerable, especially our children. How can we, as a society, better detect and intervene in cases of child abuse and neglect? What measures can be taken to ensure that children have a safe and nurturing environment? This heart-wrenching story raises questions about the signs of abuse, the importance of timely intervention, and the role of caregivers in the community. How can we work collectively to prevent such devastating cases in the future, and what resources can be provided to support those who need help? As we try to find answers for these questions, let Zykerria's story serve as a powerful reminder of the urgent need for vigilance and the unwavering commitment to safeguarding the well-being of our children. Tell us your opinions on this case, and if you want to cover a case, add them down below in the comment section. For more such content, like, share, and subscribe to our channel.